All right, you guys, happy Friday. My name's Halley Hardy, just in case you don't know me, CEO, team leader of Keller Williams Coastal Properties. And I have a very special Friday guest today. I'm so excited for this wonderful realtor, female lady boss leader, mama, soon to be of four, I think, right?
Yeah,
Soon
currently,
to be of four.
currently packing one right now.
Oh my gosh, look at that cute belly. And again, top team leader and agent here for our area. But she also has some extra special things that she coaches on and uses to build her business, and that is social media. So I'm so excited to welcome to the call Rachel Adams Lee. Rachel, welcome.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me. Fair warning, you guys, two of my three little boys were sick last night, so I'm running on fumes. But I've got protein muffins and my husband's gonna be bringing me coffee, so we'll be fine. We can do this. We can do this. Okay, well, thanks so much for having me this morning. And so what I'm gonna do today is I'm gonna kind of dig in and talk with you a little bit about how I've built my business. So just to give you a little bit of background, well, let me share my screen first. Do I have sharing? Can you give
Yeah,
me?
let me make sure that happens. Okay, there we go. Okay, you should be good.
Okay, awesome. And just because I'm curious right now, since it's like rainy for all of us. So I'm in Northern California. I'm like Sacramento. I live in El Dorado Hills. That's where I am right now. But I serve like Sacramento, Placer County, Yolo County, all that good stuff. Where are you guys located? So in the chat, I want you to tell me specifically where you're located. And more than that, where are you tuning in from? And have you showered today? Because I'm just wondering at 8:04 in the morning if you've showered today or if you're just like dry shampooing it. Because I'm going to the gym right after this, but I threw on makeup for you guys. Just I want like real talk here. Like, where are you at? Where are you? Are you in your bed? Because if you are, I'm very jealous. All right, let me go ahead and share my screen. So I have like a half hour and then hard cut off at a half hour, right?
Yep, you're good. Yeah, you're good. And we have a little flexibility if we run a little over. So you're good.
Okay, let me share my screen with you guys. I'm gonna pull up the chat.
I'm glad to see some
All of
yeses
you
in
guys
the chat.
showered. I'm so
I
impressed.
know. I'm
I'm
very
like,
impressed.
man, this is I I really I'm impressed. Like most people would be like, nah, I'm still in bed. See, you guys are out here. But also, you know what I think about? Like, nope, yeah, thanks, Katie. I appreciate the honesty, girl. Like the thing that I always think about is like, I think one of the reasons why I like social media so much is like you truly get to be yourself on here. And like if you do this right and if you do this well, you can build an entire business through social. By just sharing your life and connecting with people and adding value. So, um, just for those of you who don't know who I am, I want to give you a little quick bio. So I've been in real estate for actually this month is 13 years. And I started my business really old school. So I was managing a real estate office, unlicensed, it wasn't KW. And I remember that at that point in my life, I was in a really unhealthy marriage. I was paycheck behind a paycheck. Like life was really difficult, but I was the front desk at a real estate office. So I spent my days like, you're going to get your offer accepted. You got this. And I spent my nights crying myself to sleep. So it was a really difficult time in my life. And I was told about this class called Bold. And I was like, I don't know what that is. And they were like, well, it's kind of like Tony Robbins, like rah rah, but also for real estate. And I was like, okay. So I went to the class and I heard a quote that changed my whole world. And it was change the way you look at things and the things you look at change, right? Change the way you look at things and the things you look at change. And so I was always in this scarcity mindset that I couldn't quit my job. It was safe. I knew how much money was coming in. But the one thing I never counted on or bet on was me. Like, what am I actually capable of if I like really apply myself? So I did an accelerated program. I got licensed in 3 months and I jumped into real estate. I joined Keller Williams Roseville, where I've been at for 13 years. And I did interview with four brokerages. So it's not like I just like joined KW, but what I found was as a new agent, I needed somewhere where I could learn everything and I wanted to soak it in. And they told me that like if there was anywhere I could join, it was going to be Keller Williams because it was like the number one office that knew that was like they said it was a coaching and education company that happened to be in the business of real estate. And I was like, okay, like I'm into that. So my first year was freaking intense, you guys. I door knocked 200 doors and I did 3 open houses every week. So knocked 200 doors, did 3 open houses every week, and I didn't sell any homes for the first 4 months. You can imagine during that time, I questioned a lot of my life choices. I drank a lot of wine. um, but I was able to sell 39 homes that first year. and then 109 the second, and then 123 the third. I've taken bold 9 times. I'm like total KW kid through and through. And you know, I've had this like really crazy wild ride in real estate, and I've seen it through ups and downs, right? In 13 years. And the one thing that I will tell you though is like I got so intentional, like those 4 months that I wasn't selling any houses. Do you know what I did do? I stayed consistent with my lead gen. I script practiced 7 days a week. I got to know the listing presentation that at the time Diana Kokoska had written. I wrote that sucker down 100 days in a row with a freaking pen, right? There was no chat GPT. Like I wrote it down 100 days in a row, but I got to know it so well. And I was like obsessed with objection handlers. So even though I didn't have the sales behind me, when anyone had a question, I was like, there was nobody who could stop me. Like I was like, I know how to handle this, right? And so as my career kind of grew, like I have a team that I run in Northern California. I'm the lead listing agent on the team still. I'm very much in production. You know, it was crazy because I was like, I love this lead generation. I love real estate, but I've always wanted to be a wife and a mom. And after I got a divorce, I spent 3 years in personal growth and really just want to figure out like who I was. And I realized like there was so much that I wanted to accomplish, but I've always wanted to be a mama. And I was like, okay, I can't keep up this pace of lead gen. I can't knock 200 doors, do 3 open houses with a baby, like with a newborn. It's not going to work. And that led me honestly to my journey with social media. And so the reason that I dug into social is I wanted to find a lead generation lever that I could turn on when I wanted to work and turn off when I didn't. And so I was like, okay, what does this look like for me? And I realized everybody said we were like used car salesmen. They're like, realtors are slimy. And I was like, why do they think that about us? Well, it's because everybody was about like how many houses they could sell, how much money they could make. And I was like, but this is the biggest financial decision people will ever make in their life. What about how many families I can help? So I immediately shifted my mindset of like, I'm just going to help people. I'm going to add value. And so every time I got on social media, I was like, I'm going to add value to others. The reality is, guys, so NAR put a stat out and they said that 89% of all realtors are on social. 89%. What does that mean? It means that your next buyer and your next seller are on social. It means that your future of your real estate is on social media. And if you're not using it at a high level, you're honestly going to get left behind because companies are taking their advertising dollars away from magazine, away from TV, and they're putting it on social, right? And so we just have to remember like that is where our audience is. Now, what I'm going to go over today with you, I have an 8-hour class that I teach. We're not doing that today. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a mini version of my social media model and I'm going to break it down for you today. I have a 9-step social media model. I run 4, 6, and 7-figure companies. All of them I've done through social media and all of them with this model. I'm also a coach. I do social media audits, like all different things, which we'll talk about at the end. But this is going to help you really understand the basics because I just taught a class about how you can beat the algorithm. And there's 11 things that changed in the algorithm from 2024 to 2025. And, you know, knowing the algorithm like I do, I'm like, okay, I got to stay in front of my competition. I want to make sure I'm constantly adding value. But before you're like, oh my gosh, I have to follow the algorithm changes. No, no, no. The first thing you have to do is build a strong foundation around social media. Right? You can't just like jump into real estate and go, oh, I'm going to go jump into luxury when you don't know how to do a listing presentation and you don't even know what the marketing you're going to offer. You have to have a strong foundation first. So today what we're going to do is we're going to go over the foundation. Cool? Are you guys excited? Are you ready? Give me some energy in the chat because I need it from you guys. I'm giving it to you. I need it from you back. All right, so let's talk about how the algorithm actually works. So at the end of the day, I want you to think of the algorithm almost like a tool, okay? And the more tools you use on social, the more eyes you're going to get on your content. So you can like something, you can comment something, you can make a post, you can do a reel, you can go live, you can send a direct message, you can send an audio message. Like I just named 7 different tools. The more tools you use on social, friends, the more eyes you're going to get on your content. And this is how it works. Like when you make a post, which could be an actual post, like a static picture, or you could do a reel, or you could do a carousel post, right? The carousel posts are like the pictures you slide through. One of 2 things is going to happen. It's either going to do great and you're going to start to get more interaction, more connection, or it's going to fail. The current algorithm right now, you're only seeing about 7 to 10% of your friends. So what happens is the same 7 to 10% see your content. Now, if you want to grow your following, you got to be intentional with the content you put out there and put really highly shareable content, which I'll give you some tips on at the end here. So you make a post and it reaches 10% of your followers, a couple non-followers. Then what happens? let's talk about if it doesn't do well. They're not gonna, they ignore it. Your post fails. They scroll away. They're not going to engage. They're not even going to finish reading it. They're not interested because your post sucked, right? Sorry, not going to happen. Not going to get you anywhere. And in fact, what a lot of realtors do is they have like a closing and they'll put a Zillow review on social, or they're paying some amount of money for some company to create these like static graphics for them. And guess what? When you post that graphic about your open house, or you post that graphic about like, what are the 4 home buyer tips? Like, no, you know who likes it? Your mom. Your mom likes your post and a couple of your realtor friends, but no one's like, oh my gosh, the 4 home buying tips. I'm so ready to sell my house. Like, that's not how it works. And the reason that also doesn't work is the algorithm is killing that content right now in a bad way. Because if they think you're trying to sell on social, they're not going to let anyone see your content. They want you to add value, they want you to add connection, and they want you to engage with your people. So let's talk about what happens if you do a post well. You do a post well, you're going to reach those 10% of your followers, a couple non-followers. They start to engage. They're like, oh, this is interesting. This is funny. This is good. Then you start to reach more followers and non-followers. They continue to engage. Then you get recommended on the explore page and the home page. They continue to engage. And then you have the opportunity to go viral. Now, viral is not the end all be all. However, I just had a post that I did, a reel that I did the other day. And it was literally this video. Like, I have to show it to you guys because it like cracked me up. And it was this video of, let me pull it up for you. So I saw this quote on a meme somewhere and it resonated with me. And so I took the quote and I popped it on some B-roll of my husband and I when we were running around San Francisco. And so the quote is, remember how 20 years ago we paid for ringtones? Fast forward to 2024 and my phone's been on silent for the last 6 years. And I was like, oh, that's so funny. Like, I used to pay for ringtones. So I'm going to show you guys the video really quick. Can you see that? We're literally in San Francisco running around. My husband can jump like a gazelle and I can't jump. And so I just recorded us being like goofballs, put the quote on that, and I put it on social. And you guys, it has 5.4 million views. It is highly relatable, highly shareable content. And you're like, Rachel, why the heck would that matter as a realtor? Guess what, friends? I've gotten 2 referrals from that reel about me jumping and talking about ringtones. Why? Because we're so much more than just selling houses. We are real humans. We are relatable. And what happened was someone started following me and she wrote me, she's like, okay, this is going to sound super random. She sent me a DM. She's like, this is going to sound super random. I'm not even sure how I found you. I think you were jumping. And I was like, I know what she's talking about. She was like, but I have a friend, like, I also saw that you're a realtor and I have a friend who needs to sell in North Carolina. And I was wondering if you can help her. So I got almost a $4,000 referral fee because of that, right? So that went viral and I got likes, comments, shares, saves, profile views. But the biggest thing that happened in 2025, the number one thing that you need to think about if you want to build a business through social is your watch time. Your watch time. The longer you can keep them on your content, providing good information, that's what's going to win in the algorithm. The goal of social, friends, is to either educate or entertain. To educate or entertain. And if you're doing this well, you're going to do a balance of both of these, right? So what you'll notice, like, okay, so I do a lot of video and I do a lot of posts, okay? And when I do a reel, I will often do a short reel, 7 to 10 seconds with like B-roll footage of me literally like typing at a computer. If you saw my one today, it's really funny because it's been raining. I have to show it to you guys because it cracked me up.
Oh my
Okay.
God, Rachel, I just saw
Did you just see it?
morning and it is so funny.
I was like, okay, I feel like I have to share this with you guys. Okay, so, or actually, let me just, well, okay, can I show it to you on here? I'll just show it to you through the computer really quick because it's easier. So this is an example. Let me go to Instagram. Let me go to Reels. I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. Can you guys see my screen right now?
Yeah, we can see your screen.
Okay. Here. Let me give music. Will it work? Okay. So clearly entertaining and silly. Like, I'm a goofball. I love drinking wine right now. Not as a good, not so much encouraged when you're pregnant. But like what I do is I entertain them in the video. I entertain them with the post and then I educate in the caption. And like literally what you'll notice too is like, okay, so if you go to like any of my real estate posts, like okay, so this one's like the only kind of a door a realtor has no trouble opening, and it's like in my wine fridge in my house. Or let me look at one that I want to show you. Okay, so I don't want to brag, but so look at this one. This is a good example. So I don't want to brag, but my dad did the entire buyer's dad did the entire inspection. So I'm like, it's a short video. I pair it with trending audio, but do you see what I'm doing here in the caption? I'm absolutely educating them, and I am the expert in this field. I encourage my buyers to order a home inspection, roof inspection, termite inspection. You owe it to yourself when you're buying a home. So I entertain them in the video, but I educate them in the caption. Okay. And the thing about it, friends, is like when you're really intentional with how you're doing this, people really, really connect with you and they're like, oh yeah, like this, like what you're talking about makes sense to me, but I'm not like boring and I'm just posting like my open house. I'm not just posting the things that are just every other realtor's posting. I want to like give them something to be like, haha, follow me. And then when they follow me, they have the opportunity to learn who I am and learn what I'm about, right? Which is the same thing for you. So we're going to dig into the social media model, and I'm going to talk faster than I've ever talked before. Just kidding. So I'm probably going to go over just a little bit.
You're
Because
fine. You're good. Yeah.
I think it's important to like really share with you guys how this model works. But I would encourage you to take a screenshot of this today. And you know how I talk about always adding value? What I would do is I would take a screenshot of this today and I would take really good notes over these next 9 steps. Okay. And then what you're going to do is when you're done with this, you're going to make a post on social. And you're going to say something like, got to learn from a top 1,000 agent in the country, how she makes over $1 million a year through social media, or however you want to word it, right? How she sold 850 houses through social media. If you want to copy my notes, leave your emails below. And I would honestly go realtors/local business owners. If you want to copy my notes, leave your email below. Why are you guys doing that? Because you are then going to be the person adding value to your audience, to your database. And that's the thing. If you're always adding value, you become somebody they want in their world. Okay. So let's dig into these. Model number 1. Okay. So one of the things that I do is I do something called a social media audit. And when I do a social media audit, I sit down with realtors and I'm like, okay, let's talk about who you are. Let's talk about what makes you tick. Let's talk about why somebody's friends with you, right? Because we're so much more than selling houses. And a lot of realtors, they just talk about the houses they're selling. And that's so freaking boring because it's what you do. It's not who you are. There's so much more to you. People might find you. If you're taking notes, I want you to write this down. People might find you because you're in real estate, guys, but they're going to stick around because of who you are and how you make them feel. Your social media actually has nothing to do with you. It's how it makes someone feel about themselves watching you, right? And so what you're going to do is you're going to write down 1 through 5. Number 1, we're going to write down real estate because that's the industry that we're in. And then 2 through 5 is going to be different for everybody. So you get to choose what you're passionate about. Maybe you like clean eating and working out, write it down. Hunting and fishing, write it down. Whatever you're like, if you have kids and you're married, I hope you like them. I want you to write that down, right? I want you to write down the 5 pillars of content for who you are as a person. This can be a homework assignment. Okay. Have an accountability partner in your market center, share it with them, share it with, your team leader. Like this is important. Like I know that, everybody wants to hear what you're going through. So share what's going on. Oops, sorry, backwards. So if you were to go on my social, you would see me very clearly rotate through my topics: real estate and being an entrepreneur, being a wife and a mama, because that's my favorite, postpartum health and fitness, because after having 3 kids in 4 years, multiple losses, all the fertility drugs, I was a fluffy lady for me. And I only grow this way. I don't grow this way because I'm 5 feet tall. So I was like, okay, I have to do something about this. And I ended up losing 55 pounds naturally. And I got very passionate about my health and my fitness. Now I get to do it all over again. My husband's like, really? You want to start over? I'm like, I do. He's like, you're insane. And I'm like, it's fine. We're all fine. And then personal growth and multiple streams of income, because those are the things that I'm passionate about. So that's what I talk about. Literally, if you're on my social media, you'll see me rotate my reels through these topics. You'll see me go through my posts through these topics. And honestly, like, don't stress if your real estate posts are your lower producing post, because that's normal. But if all you're talking about is real estate, you're not going to get referrals because people aren't just like, oh my gosh, you posted a Zillow review. I should totally work with you. That's not how it works. They want to know what's happening. They want to know you're more than just selling houses. So people are always like, Rach, when should I post? When's the best time to post on social? I would tell you the best time to post is first thing in the morning when you're ready for social media. For me personally, I use an app called Google Keep, and I prep my post like the night before. Like I knew yesterday because it was raining that I recorded that reel with the wine. And I was like, okay, I'm going to post that this morning. And so I had it ready and prepped to go. But what I do is like, I wake up a half hour before my kids wake up. I make my post, and then I'm set for the day. What I used to do is I'd wake up in the morning and I'd grab my phone and I'd start scrolling. And I see like the mom that just made her kids like handmade lunch. I'm like, oh, that's cool. And a guy that just got off the treadmill and I'm like, good for you, because I'm still in bed. And then someone else who like closed their 100th house and it's March. I'm like, oh my God, then you start to feel like crap. You already feel behind for the day when you're laying in bed. Like, what a horrible way to wake up. Like, do you guys ever feel that way? You're watching somebody on social and you're like, they're doing so much more than me. They're so much more successful than me. Like, social media can be this beautiful place that like adds value to you, or it can like suck the life out of you and feel less than. Yep, Tanya knows what I'm talking about. And so I was like, okay, I have to set some healthy boundaries around social media. So for me, what that looked like was prepping my post the night before. So when I'm ready for social, I put my content out there. I put my lead generation out there. I put my contribution out into the world so that it can start to roll with the algorithm. But a lot of times, especially now, people are putting their posts out there and they're not getting any traction. So we'll talk about how you can change that. Okay. 80-20 principle. How much are we posting personal and how much are we posting business? I will tell you that truly, if you're building a business through social, 80% of what you're posting should be personal. Who you are, what you're doing, what you're reading, what you're eating, what makes you tick. 20% is going to be business. Most realtors have that flip-flopped, okay? Now, do you need to have a personal page or a business page? I will tell you that on Facebook, you absolutely need to have both, okay? You need to have a personal page and a business page. Why? Because if you're going to boost an ad through command, or you're going to, like do anything through your business page, the only place that you can boost any kind of ad is through a business page, because it doesn't work on your personal page. If you Google Rachel Adamsley Realtor, my business page will pop up, not my personal page, okay? I can also brand that sucker. So it's got my headshot, it's got my logo, it's got my brand colors, right? Like it's a very professional business hours. My personal one obviously is very different. It's got my kid's cute little butt on there because he's got a cute little butt, right? But all 100, so last year we had 124 referrals come through social media. That includes Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Those are what I consider my social platforms. 124 referrals. Every single one, guys, came to my personal page. Not a single one went to my business page. You need it for credibility and validity, but all my focus goes to my personal page. And then the rule, the 80-20 rule, you flip it when you're doing your business page. 80% of your business page is business, 20% is personal. Now let's talk Instagram. On Instagram, you only want to have one profile. If you guys have a business and a personal profile, cut it out, go to the one that has more followers, and you're starting over. And if you need to do a one-on-one with me, I'm happy to walk you through this. So you're going to have one profile on Instagram, and you need to make sure that it is a creator profile. So you're going to go in your settings, you're going to switch it to be a creator profile. You are not a business, you are a creator, okay? The reason you want to be a creator profile is you get the most amount of insights, you get the most amount of trending audio, okay? A business profile, which people are like, but I'm a business owner. I hear you. A business on Instagram is like if you're selling a product, if you're selling sunglasses or you're selling like pens, right? It's more of like an actual product someone can purchase from you. Creator is what you want to be on Instagram, okay? How often should you be posting? God bless it. The algorithm is more in our favor now. They're more about you posting less often. So less quantity, more quality. So the perfect style of posting is 3 to 5 times a week. Now, I'm going to put this in the chat for you guys right now. So in a perfect world, you are doing what if you're like, Rach, I want to build a sustainable business. How does this look? Like, what does this actually look like? So you're going to post 1 reel a week and 3 posts a week. Now, what are those 3 posts? 1 is going to be business and 2 are going to be personal. So you're going to show up 4 times a week on social. Now, this is if you want to build a business through social and you want to gain traction and get referrals and buyers and sellers. That's what you're going to be posting. So 1 reel a week. and 3 posts. 2 are going to be personal, one's going to be business. And if you're struggling with reels, if you're like, I really want to do reels, but I just feel like I don't know what to do, those reels that I just showed you that are the business examples, I do those for all the realtors. We have what, 400 something realtors that signed up for this so far, and more add every week. But basically what it looks like is I record the content, I send it to you on a Monday. You have till Saturday at midnight to get it back to me, the raw footage. I edit it, I write your caption. So like, the whole education part, I write the entire thing for you. You're just gonna have to take out Northern California and swap in Long Beach, wherever you are serving, right? But I put the trending audio on there. I write the hashtags, your geo hashtags, like I do the entire thing. It's $97 a month and it freaking crushes it. Like people's engagement's up like 295%, 400%, like highly encourage it if you're stuck on video. Okay, so model 6, 7, 8, and 9. These are all about really hacking the algorithm to get more eyes on your content. So I would love for you to have new followers. I'm all about your follower growth. However, I think it's super important to remember our database, the people who like us, who love us, who would refer business to us if we were top of mind. Those are the people I want you to think about that actually are in your current database of social media. So if you think about it, like I don't know, I probably have like somewhere between 60 and 80,000 people with all my platforms together. But say you have 5,000 people between Facebook, Instagram, whatever, okay? Or you have 3,000 people, I don't care. Only 10% of them are seeing your content. And the rule is if you're not seeing them, they're not seeing you. So how do you get in front of them? So when they think about you, they send you a referral. Because if I ask you right now, like, who do you know in Anchorage, Alaska that's a realtor? You're like, oh gosh, I swear I know her. I can see her face. I can't think of her name. That's because they're not top of mind. They're not in your feed with your algorithm. So it's hard to like, we're all on social. That's where we see most of our real estate friends around the country. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through these next few steps. And what these are going to do is they're going to help you wake up the algorithm so that you stay in front of the people you want to stay in front of. Okay. So we talked about the tools. The more tools you use on a platform, the more eyes that are seen. So you're going to make a post first thing in the morning, right? And then an hour later, you're going to go back in and you're going to like, comment, engage with everybody, right? Because my husband refers to my cell phone in real estate as golden handcuffs. He's like, that sucker is always on you. I'm like, I know. So we have some really healthy boundaries in our house around that. YouTube video coming up on that, by the way. But we have some healthy boundaries with my cell phone. And what I've realized is like, that's what I love about social and being able to like have my kids and build my business and go on listing appointments and all that. I can turn it on when I want to turn it on and turn it off when I want to. But the thing is, what's cool about social is when I made that reel this morning, it's going to go all day long. I'm going to get comments, likes, engagement all day long. Twice a day, I'm going to respond to them. So I make my post, hit a tool. Hour later, I go back in, like, comment, engage. I just hit 4 tools. The algorithm is like, what's she doing? She's doing something well. Let's give her more eyes on her content, right? Then an hour before the end of the day, I go back in and I connect with everybody again. So I believe that social media is lead generation. Most people, if I'm like, okay, I want you to lead generate on social, they're like, totally, Rach, like, and they sit there and they're just liking people's content. I'm like, that's not doing anything for you. So when I do lead generation, whether I'm door knocking, I'm dialing, or I'm doing social, I can only focus for like 2 hours. I feel like that's like a realtor trait. And so if I'm doing social media lead generation, this is what it looks like. Okay, say that Bernice commented, I have an anniversary. We went to Tahoe and Bernice likes my post and Meryl comments on my post. And Meryl's like, oh my gosh, girl, happy anniversary. Like, looks like you had the best time in Tahoe. Well, I'm going to comment back to Meryl because she's in my time blocking time, right? But Bernice liked my post. And most of the time people just look at their likes as like a vanity metric, like, oh, I got 100 likes. Cool. I actually look at them as like a golden opportunity. It's literally Bernice sitting there going, hey, Rachel, I watch you. I'm seeing what you're doing. Like I'm right here. But most people don't care. I want to get to know Bernice. I want to know what matters to her. I want to get to know her as a friend, right? So what happens is Bernice liked my post. I'm going to go on her page proactively. I'm proactive in my business. I'm going to see what's happening in her world. I'm going to see if her daughter just graduated from kindergarten or college or right. Like I'm going to see a milestone happening in her world. So this is how it works. Bernice likes my post. I'm going to send her a private message. Hey, Bernice, oh my gosh, thanks so much for connecting on my anniversary post. Ryan and I had the best time in Tahoe. I saw that your daughter just graduated from kindergarten. What a huge milestone for you and your family. Do you guys have any plans coming up for the rest of winter? Right? So what did that do? She liked my post. I sent her a private message, which gets her and me in her feed. But then the message I sent her was super personal. I messaged something happening in her world, which shows her I care what's going on in her world. And I'm not just like another face, right? And then what happens when I ask about Bernice? She's gonna ask about me. We go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and we build this conversation, this connection. And then eventually, when it feels good, the transition feels good. Sometimes it's same day, sometimes it's same week. Like it just depends on the conversation. I'm going to say something to Bernice like, gosh, Bernice, I feel like I really have enjoyed getting to know you on a personal level, which makes me think we'd probably align on our business lives as well. I don't have a great referral partner in Long Beach or, like wherever she works. I'm like, do you have one in Sacramento? Do you have one in El Dorado Hills? You guys, over 100 referrals every single year through social. And I focus on agent to agent relationships around the country and then client and community. I could literally come to your office and teach you guys for like 4 whole days, like how we break into the community and how you get into luxury and like all marketing and all the things. I'm so like, I freaking love real estate. I love social media. I love my database. We have like 33 things we do throughout the year. Like, and so much of it ties into social media. So like for me, I'm not like, ugh, like, well, that's not true. Some days I'm like, ugh, I have to go on. I don't want to post anything. The days you feel like you have to show up on social, please don't. Please don't show up on social because your energy is not right and you're not doing it for the right reasons. I believe that when I'm on social, it's because I want to have something to offer. I have something to add value, whether I'm entertaining, educating, sharing, right? Like I have all those things. Okay. How do we get in front of our ideal clients? How do we get in front of our ideal audience? So this is my favorite way to do it. So every single month, I take pen to paper and I write 25 names down. 25 names. So who are these 25 names? They're 25 people that I'm already friends with on social, but I'm not seeing their content. Okay, 25 names of people I'm already friends with, I'm not seeing their content. It can be 20, and I like themes. So I'll be like, okay, this month I'm doing 25 local business owners. Next month I'm doing 25 realtors around the country. Next month I'm doing 25 past clients. Get what I'm saying? So you pick 25. And what do you do with the 25? It's called Rachel's Rule of 555. So 5 minutes before you make a post, you're going to comment on 5 people's post, a comment of 5 words or more. I'm going to say it again. 5 minutes before you make a post, you're going to comment on 5 people's post, a comment of 5 words or more. Who are those 5 people? They're from your list of your top 25. So every single month, you're hitting 25 people who are the most likely referral partners who want to give you business, who want to connect with you, but you're not top of mind. This is what makes you top of mind. It's insane because I have agents who like coach with me and they're like, oh my gosh, Rachel, I started to implement this and like, I'm so overwhelmed by my interaction. What's legit about this, guys, is like your story views go up, your likes go up, your shares go up. But the best part is referrals start to come in. This is a 9-step model on social media that honestly can help change your business. And then the other thing that I really think about, and I'm like, you're going to be watching me this year, be super intentional with this. Highly, highly, highly shareable content. Highly shareable content. What does this look like? The 5 best dog parks, the top 4 brunch spots in Long Beach, right? The top happy hour spots you need to hit, the 5 best date night locations, like 5 reasons why you need to move to, 4 wineries you have to stop by. Like, do you get what I'm saying? These are all considered hooks. The hook is the sexy thing that stops the scroll, that gets people being like, oh, wait, what is she talking about? Like, my goal for you, friends, is for you to literally be like the digital mayor of your town. That's what I want from you. And if you do this well, if you do this effectively, you 100% can make that happen. Did somebody say freebies? Okay, so one of my favorite things that I like to do, like I said, I love adding value. I love connecting with you guys. If you go to rachelsfreebies.com, I have 20 hooks that you can grab. And with these hooks, what they'll do is these are the things that are going to help stop the scroll. There are things that are going to help people when they're scrolling be like, oh, wait a second. Wait, what is Tanya posting about? Like, this is definitely something that resonates with me. This is something that I need in my life. So highly encourage you guys to snag this. It's totally free. I'm super happy to help build your business in this. And then I'm going to give you a little bit of time for some Q&A because I have it if you guys have it because my gym isn't till 9:30. But one thing I wanted to tell you, this is like my #1 most popular thing. So if you're like, Rach, okay, I'm feeling your energy. You also this is me with no caffeine. Like, can you imagine if I drank caffeine? I don't drink caffeine. I just like the flavor of coffee. This is how I am like in a natural state. It's scary. So if someone's like, Rachel, I really want to do social media. Like, I feel like your energy is what I need in my life. Like, this is how I want to do it. So I would tell you, the first thing you do is you're going to set up a 50 content call with me. What the 50 content call is, it looks like this. We sit down together for 1 hour. So you have to block an hour out and I want you totally undistracted. Okay. We're first going to audit your social media. So I'm going to go through, you have to have a little bit of thick skin because I'm going to be like, this isn't working. This is what we're going to change. Let's walk through what is working, what isn't working. Then we're going to re-optimize your bio so that it fits the algorithm for the current trends that are going on today, because your bio is like your digital business card. It is what grabs people to want to work with you. Okay. Then what we're going to do is I'm going to go through your pillars of content with you. We go through like 8 or 9, though I want to expand it. And I physically create 50 pieces of content for you for social media, 50 pieces that stop the scroll and grab people. And they're like, dang. So like, if I was a team leader, I'm creating content for recruiting. I'm recruiting content for retention. Like, I'm like, how can I add value to my market center and to my agents, right? If I'm an agent, I'm like, okay, these are like the 5 best brunch spots. Okay, if I'm a dog mama, I'm going to be talking about like the life of a golden doodle and like whatever. But the feedback on this is bananas. Like, people freak out after doing these calls, and I love it because it's so much fun. So you get 50 pieces of content, which takes you through. I give you the actual hook. I give you what you're going to put in the post. I give you your call to action. And then I give you a suggested photo you're going to do. And then weekly reels, you guys can snag that. I already shared that one with you. Areas I serve, we do a customized reel and a graphic for you. And what's cool about this is it's your head, it's your branding, it's your 5 areas that you serve, like your sub-cities and your main area, but we give you a reel to post and a graphic. And this one's under $50, so this one's definitely popular. And then the last thing is just that if I'm your vibe, if you're like, okay, I feel like I like her and I want more energy from her, I have a coaching crew, and it's $29 a month. It's going up to $49 at the end of this month, but twice a month I go in for 45 minutes, and we talk about everything from like how to break into the luxury market to how to hire your first admin to I did this Instagram post and got no traction. Next call we're doing, I'm actually going through my version of ChatGPT, how I actually use it, because I feel like there's 100,000 things out there and people are real freaking weird. And I just want to I simplify everything. I don't have time for all the AI, all that. I'm like, this is how I actually use it for social media, for blogs, for like what I actually do. Okay, that's what I have for you today. If you guys want to hang with me, you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. All of them are under Rachel Adams Lee. If you have any questions or anything you need, you can just send me a direct message on social too. I don't know if you guys have time for Q&A. I'm happy to stick around for a couple minutes if you guys have any specific questions. But besides that, thanks for having me.
Rachel,
coming in.
such good content. Thank you. I know that a lot of people are over here taking notes. Does anyone have any questions before I wrap up here? I saw some people unmute. Feel free, unmute, ask your question.
I don't have any questions. This has just been awesome. Rachel, you are awesome. I love your
Thank
energy.
you.
I'm gonna probably tap into you for, a quick consultation, just so you can take a look at my social media page, because
Cool.
I want my engagement to grow.
Yeah.
I am on social media every day. I
Okay.
do first thing in the morning, but I don't have the engagement that I
Yeah.
feel like I should, because I think I do pretty well. I'll take your criticism. Ha ha ha. But yeah, I'm gonna set that up with you. I really appreciate everything.
Yeah, you're so welcome. I'll put the link for the 50 content in the chat for you guys. That's probably like my most requested thing, just because then you get the personal touch and we can dig into your content and help you figure out why you're not getting the interaction. Most of the time, it's like simple tweaks that we can do. But there is you do really have to shift your mindset to what an effective hook is, because there's just so many people that are just posting, and you can say I had a great breakfast this morning. You could post a picture of your eggs and be like, I had a great breakfast this morning. Or you can be like, the number one spot for a healthy vegan breakfast in Long Beach you need to know about. And the difference in those is night and freaking day, but that's what's going to either stop the scroll or not. And with real estate, our industry is not selling sunset. It's definitely not always sexy and fun. And so I think what I'm passionate about is making a way to have our content be fun and educational, but also give people something to want to stick around for. And if you don't make it all real estate related, that's why they're going to stick around, because there's so much more to you. Like I said, I feel like I'm digging that in, but there really is just so much more to you.
Thank you, Rachel, so much. Your authenticity just shines through, even through the computer.
Thank you.
Thank you for being such a servant leader. Thank you so much for joining the call. Hopefully you guys got all that content. If you don't already, go on and follow Rachel Adams Lee on all of her pages, because now we know Facebook business and Instagram. Follow
Yeah.
all of our pages, share all your content. You guys go out and have a productive weekend. Take some of this, put it into implementation today. And if you're still curious about it, reach out to Rachel to learn more.
Yeah, you can just send me a message directly. And then will you personally send me a message after? Because I want to share something with you.
Yes.
Okay,
That's
awesome.
awesome.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Thank you
Have a good
guys so
rest of your
very
day.
much. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, ladies.